Let's begin.
Olympia was just announced to be our next fighter, joining the Rivals of Aether 2 cast coming out this spring, right before the grand finals of Genesis X. So while you're probably all watching Plup possibly make one of the craziest updates in history, I'm here breaking down all the details in Olympia's trailer. Also, just popping in here as the editor, Plup went crazy in that bracket, that was insane, right? I also have a giveaway at the end of this video for some cool merch, so be sure to stick around here until then to find out how to enter. Let's start by breaking down the animation we see at the start of the trailer, and talk about Olympia's kit after that. I will leave timestamps throughout this video though, in case you want to skip around. The trailer kicks off with 4 elemental fighters, followed by Hodon. I personally really love Hodon, but I was a little bit scared for him to be our next fighter, since it already feels like we have a diverse cast of heavyweights in the game. We see Absa next, which got me really excited, since she's been highly requested, but she's been a safe guess for our second returning fighter, and truthfully, it's not a secret that Aether Studios likes to be a little sneaky. We finally got our real reveal, with Olympia in the doorway coming to train under Hodon, giving her even more interactions in the canon lore, meaning now she knows Fleet, as well as the rest of the Dungeons cast, as well as Hodon, and probably Absa by relation to Hodon. I personally predicted Olympia would be one of the characters we got in year 1, since she's a lot of the devs' favorites, but back in my older videos about who I think the DLC would be, I guessed her there too, and I'm really happy that I've been right so far. I do want to remake that one soon, since it's a bit older and I have newer thoughts, but it's definitely worth checking out. Now that we've broken down the animation and what it implies for the lore of Aether, let's actually dive into her kit and the trailer itself. We start to see Olympia wallop on Crag a little bit. Which stood out to me here is how short she is in comparison to Crag. Obviously, Crag's really bulky and one of the taller characters in the game, but Olympia's only a little taller than half Crag's height, meaning she'll probably be one of the shortest members of the cast long term. I think this points to her being on the lighter side too, to balance her crazy movement and size to her weight. But we haven't seen that movement just yet, so I'll hold off chatting about it until then. We see her land jab 1, 2, and 3 on Crag, and jab 1 here looks really fast, so I wonder if a lot of her grounded gameplay will revolve around it, similar to Arcane. We then see her initial dash, which truthfully doesn't look crazy. It doesn't look awful, but from the brief glimpse we get here, it looks like it takes a few frames to get going, so that might be a limiter on her kit. After the dash, we see her use dash attack, nair, and then the outer hitbox of forward air. This means that Olympia's fair won't only be a spike, but as we'll see later, it does maintain its spike box. The last note I had for this sequence is that nair didn't send far at all, while the forward air looked like it hit super hard. I'm not sure if this is the devs playing with values behind the scene for the trailer that won't be in the game at launch, or Rockwell being silly, or possibly fair just being really powerful, but it seems strong at the worst in this trailer. We then transition to our scene against Arcane, with a ledge roll and then wave dash back. These look decently sized, which doubles down that Olympia might have pretty good movement buttons, which will give her a good contrast to brawlers who might not be quite as slippery feeling. We then see her pop Arcane up with F tilt and up tilt, and hit a knockdown Arcane with the Crystal Shatter stunning him, and securing a KO with forward strong. Nothing here is too crazy truthfully, and it looks pretty standard from her kit in 1. Besides the confirmation that being knocked down doesn't make you safe from Crystal, and that F strong is, well, really strong. Those tilts didn't send Arcane very far, and F strong shot him like a cannonball. As said earlier, those could have been fake values to make the cool trailer, but I also wonder if her tilts don't have a lot of knockback growth, allowing him to use them more effectively at high percent. Before we hop over to the next scene, by the way, it'd be so awesome if you left a like on the video, or maybe even subscribed. I'm one of the smaller creators that talks about Rivals 2, but I do my best to bring y'all high quality and frequent videos about the game, and would love to break the 2,000 subscriber mark sometime this month. The proceeds from this channel allow me to give back both to my Wi-Fi brackets linked in the Discord below, and local scene here in East Texas, so giving me a little boost would help a ton. Running into the raster scene, we see Olympia's run, which does appear a little slower, like I pointed out earlier. However, we do see her use a down tilt out of it, which pops raster up and behind her, comboing into up air. We see some momentum here maintained on the down tilt, which might be a natural way for Olympia to move forwards like Maple F tilt, or might be left over from her run animation, which would be pretty neat. We also see down special block rasters up tilt and pop him into a crystal. This move wasn't held for an extra long or short amount of time, so I'm assuming it'll work the same as Rivals 1, where there's just a cast time and not a negative edge effect like Ryu or Ken in Smash Bros. She then pops Rastra up with her up tilt and up air, and both look to have a lot more knockback and seem kinda balloony almost with how Rastra is launched. This is probably due to an extra effect stacked by Crystal, changing how moves hit opponents. And as we know from Rivals 1, hitting a crystallized opponent extends the time they're trapped. We also see her up special here, which was a common finisher on crystallized opponents in 1, taking the kill, leading me to believe this is pretty similar to what we had back then. We then cut to Olympia doing a wave dash back against Rano on the top platform of Hodocho. This covers a lot of ground reminiscent to Orcane's wave dash. We see her command grab Rano and suplex him to the ground with what I assume is side special. There's a lot of craziness going on with side special though, so I'll talk about that after we've seen all the clips of it later in the trailer. After the side special, we see Olympia pivot with some very fast wave dashes into grabs, followed by a really sick pummel animation and low knockback down throw, comboing into hitfall nair into wave dash up strong. I am a little confused here since I wouldn't think nair would cancel so fast, so I think this might have also been a situation where her in lag is really low on nair, or that she can cancel into something like wave dash on hitfall. Either way, this looks crazy strong and really cool. In the next scene with Forest Burn, we see a snazzy new assassin skin outfit for him. We see Olympia's ledge special. This looks like she's charging it to determine how far she goes, and as we know from Rivals 1 and later in this trailer, you can use the crystal to cancel the dash into a jump, which should make this a pretty good option for getting away from the ledge and covering good distance. Cutting to the Edalus scene, we see her do Get Up special, replacing her old down smash. This reminds me a bit of Edalus's Get Up special, which gets larger the more you charge it. I am a really big fan of these specials being diverse, so this is really cool to see. As we see, the spike box of her up air is here as well, confirming into grab and then back throw as well, is a spike box from fair, and then side special into down air. This leads to one of my other questions about the side special, however, since in Rivals 1 it would send you to freefall, but here we see her act out of it. I wonder if you can cancel its in lag into an aerial, and then go into freefall if that aerial is whiffed, or if the move just has no freefall on it at all. We then see her side special to the wall and recover. This is one of the scenes that helps me confirm that her side special is a grab now, since you see her cock her arm back like she's getting ready to nab someone. One inconsistency I noticed here though is that this animation is different from the ledge special, which makes her punch, and looks slightly different from the side B we saw used before. I wonder if there's two versions of the move like Diddy Kong's side B in Smash Bros, or if she's some kind of way to cancel the hitbox on the move and make it just a movement tool like Zetterburn down special. Moving on to the Fleet clip, we see a lot of moves coming out really fast, as well as some new mechanics. I'll break it down here the best I can, but it has me scratching my head a little bit, so if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments below. First, we see Fair doing very little knockback, letting us know Fleet is at a lower percent at the start of this clip. This is chained into neutral special, which we see it does have a hitbox here with whenever it collides with Fleet and has a good bit of hit stun. It connects into up tilt's second hitbox, keeping Fleet close to the ground, which then connects into a cross-up nair, which cancels into this weird dash option that I haven't seen before. Heyo, I'm editing the video right now and jumping in here off script. I realize that she starts her neutral special animation and then cancels it somehow into that like side B-esque knee move. I'm still not sure what the input is or what that move is, but you're canceling neutral special to perform it. It might be side special, but she hits with her knee, not her hand, and it doesn't have that grab animation. If I had to guess, my theory about there being two versions of side B is right, or that her side B is specifically enhanced in the crystal, since we see the crystal shatter here. This move then cancels into grab, where we see special pummel, and then crystal reforming where it last was. Truthfully, I don't think the special pummel is what reforms the crystal, since it already creates one crystallized state. So I wonder if whatever option we saw earlier only temporarily breaks crystal, since after that we see Dare into the move that grabs crystal, which I'm very sure is side B since it has a similar suplex animation. Out of this side B, we see the crystal pop and then crystallize Fleet again, with half the crystal remaining on the stage, and with Olympia then connecting down smash to secure the KO. This is a new down smash because it sends out and her old one sent up like we saw with her Get Up special. I'm not sure why part of the crystal stayed there truthfully, but it's either a visual bug, which I doubt, or it shows that the crystal can be reformed after being broken, like we saw earlier. This might be if a condition is met, or from special pummel or something else entirely different. I'm really not sure on this one. We then see Olympia's windscreen and a wrap on the trailer. Overall, Olympia looks really sick and really fast-paced. In a video I made last month, I talked about how I wish there was more diverse brawlers, and this definitely fills that gap. I really like her kit overall, and I'm really excited to try her out. Speaking of something I'm excited about, y'all used code LASTSTOCK in game so much and supported the channel, so I wanted to give back to y'all with no purchase necessary. I realize not everyone can come to my locals or wants to plan a Wi-Fi event, so I found a way to give back to you guys without asking y'all to do that. I have a little montage of stickers playing on screen right around now, and if you want to win a few, just drop a comment on this video or any other video released before the end of this month, or enter one of my Wi-Fi brackets through the Discord link below. Thanks so much for all your support and using code LASTSTOCK in-game, and I hope you're as excited for Olympia as I am. See you on the next one. Bye for now.
I'll make this quick.